We're on page 6, and the title is Smoke Jumpers. Have you ever heard of smoke jumpers? A smoke jumper is someone who is trained to fight fires in rough terrain, like mountains or other places that are difficult to get to. Smoke jumping was introduced in the 1930s by the U.S. Forest Service. It was a way to get to forest fires quickly. Oh, wow. So it was introduced a while ago. I see there's a caption down here, so I need to read this caption. Recently, there were about 7,000 forest fires in the United States just in the month of August. Wow, I just made a text to self or text to world connection, actually, text to world, because I'm thinking I know that there's been a lot of forest fires right now this past month and currently in September in California and in other parts of the United States. Now flip to page 7. Smoke jumpers are a national treasure. Their jobs are hard and very dangerous. Smoke jumpers parachute from a plane. They land on a spot near the forest fire. Firefighting tools, food, and water are also dropped by parachute. The men and women smoke jumpers get enough tools and supplies to last them for about 2 days. After that, they will get more. Wow, so they only have supplies for 2 days, and then they get more after that. Here's a caption. Smoke jumpers usually work from June through October. I guess that means, since it says through October, we're in September right now, and they will still have to be working this month and next month because it's October. Now I'm going to turn to page 8. Ooh, cool. We saw this yesterday where it shows the different parts of the smoke jumper, their outfit, and the important gear. We talked about the gear that they have. Parachute harness, reserve parachute, wire mesh face mask, personal gear bag, helmet, rope for tree landings, jump jacket, high collar. Wow, that's a lot of gear that they have to have. Smoke jumpers must be able to carry a heavy load of equipment. That totally makes sense. Like I said, that's a lot. Smoke jumpers wear special gear to keep them safe. Padded, fireproof suits and helmets with face masks protect jumpers from fire, rocks, and trees. Parachutes are another important piece of equipment. They can be steered by the smoke jumpers. Their bright colors can be spotted quickly. That probably helps them be found by other smoke jumpers, or if there's an emergency, by helpers that might need to help them. Page 9. Smoke jumpers train in states that have large forests like California and Oregon. That's where there's some fires right now. California and Oregon, also Washington State. Being a smoke jumper takes strength and training. Smoke jumpers learn how to jump from a plane, handle a parachute, and land safely. Hey, we saw that in the video. Text to video connection. Once they are on the ground, they must be able to climb trees, use different saws, and work well in a team. Hey, that was on the video too. It talked about them having to work together. Next time you hear about a forest fire, you can be sure that smoke jumpers are on the job. So now what we're going to do, boys and girls, is we're going to go back and we're going to look for particular information. We're going to look for particular information. So you're going to go back to the page 6 again, where it has this picture. So flop back to page 6 because you're going to need a pencil and you're going to do some annotating with me. So get your pencil ready. You're going to do some annotating with me because we're going to be looking for the main idea and the key details that tell us the main idea. So I'm gonna take you guys, and right now I need you to really, really focus on doing this, okay? So let's take a look in paragraphs 1 through 3. We wanna think, what is a smoke jumper? So let's see what they are. Let's look in paragraph 1 and see. Take a moment and you guys read to yourself paragraph 1. Can anybody find where it says what a smoke jumper is?
On the second.
One second. So hopefully you said, well, I saw this part where it said a smoke jumper is someone who is trained to fight fires in rough terrain. That is what it says a smoke jumper is. So I want everybody to annotate that and underline that, please. So let's look in paragraph 2 to see if it says anything else about what is a smoke jumper. It said smoke jumping was introduced in the 1930s by the U.S. Forest Service. It was a way to get to forest fires quickly. Well, you know, I think the sentence where it talks about a way to get to forest fires quickly, it's connected to what a smoke jumper does because they need to get to fires quickly so they can help fight them. So I'm going to annotate it was a way to get to forest fires quickly. And you guys should annotate that too, please. So everybody should flip to page 7, and I'm going to look on paragraph 3. You see how these paragraphs are numbered? They're numbered to show what page the information is on. I'm trying to make this less blurry. So give me a second to get it situated. Hopefully it gets better there. There we go. Okay. So I'm looking, let's see, smoke jumpers are a national treasure. Their jobs are hard and very dangerous. They land on a spot near the forest fire. Firefighting tools, food, and water are also dropped by parachute. The men and women smoke jumpers get enough tools and supplies to last them for about 2 days. After that, they will get more. Well, I think that it talks about them jumping from a plane, and that's something that they have to do in order to be a smoke jumper. So I'm going to underline this, smoke jumpers parachute from a plane, and then it says they land on a spot near the forest fire, and that tells like what they're going to do. They're landing there so they can start to fight the fires, right? So I need you to annotate that part as well. Now, all of those are details that are really important to tell about what the smoke jumper does. So over here, I'm going to put a star. I always put a star when I'm doing my main idea. Now, I want you to write M-I and then put 2 dots. These 2 dots, this is called a colon, boys and girls. M-I stands for main idea. Okay, I just am kind of making it a little bit shorter when we take our notes. So the main idea, now I need to look at all these details. Smoke jumpers parachute from a plane, they land on a spot near the forest fire. What else? They jump, or it's someone who is trained to fight fires in rough terrain. It was a way to get to the forest fires quickly. Now I need to take all of that information and put it together to say what are these first 3 paragraphs, 1, 2, 3, about. I think they're telling me all about how a smoke jumper, you should be writing this down as well. If you're not, you should. They're telling me all about how a smoke jumper fights forest fires. Right? It talks about them fighting forest fires, and it tells how they do it. They parachute by parachuting. Wow, pretty cool. Parachuting into the area. Right here it talked about into the area where the fire is. Where the fire is. So please write down that for your main idea of the first 3 paragraphs. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do that. Now, this time, I want you guys to reread paragraphs 4 and 5, and you're going to try to tell me what are some important things, what are some gear that a smoke jumper needs. You might find it in the paragraph, you might find it in this right here, in this diagram. So what is some of the gear that a smoke jumper needs? Go ahead and take a look, and then you're gonna let me know. I appreciated that. Could you repeat that one more time?
Smoke jumpers wear special gear to keep them safe.
Thank you. That was a really important point in this article. I love that. Thank you for sharing, Lily. Did anybody else find something that they thought was like, what was a key detail from these paragraphs, or what was something that is an example? Go ahead.
My name is Brody, and I have something to add on to the suits. They protect you, they're fireproof, their mask will keep their heads and their face safe, and they will protect them from fire, rocks, or trees if they get into any of those.
Thank you, Brody. That was also a really good key detail that you shared. Excellent. Did anybody else see any other key details from paragraph 5 that they thought was important, that tells about what gear the smoke jumpers need?
Hello, my name is Leo, and smoke jumpers need jumping jackets.
Could you repeat it, buddy? I couldn't quite hear you. It was a little quiet. They need what?
Jumping jackets.
Jumping jackets. So jumping jackets, I think it did talk about it up here in the diagram. This was something that they needed up here, a jump jacket. Thank you, Leo, for sharing. Did anybody find anything in paragraph 5, though, that smoke jumpers also need? If you found something, you can unmute yourself and just say, hi, this is so-and-so.
Hi, this is Tom.
Yes, Tom.
And in paragraph 5, I think what is important is parachutes are another important piece of equipment.
Thank you, Tom. I agree with you. Parachutes are another thing that the smoke jumpers need in order to get to those dangerous fires. So you should underline that. Now, what I'm going to do, based on what you guys told me, these are all important key details. I'm going to find my main idea. But you know what's crazy? Lily found the main idea already. She found it right at the beginning. What is this paragraph all about? It says it right here. Smoke jumpers wear special gear to keep them safe. So we're going to put a star right here. I love when this happens. When we find the main idea, and sometimes it's in a sentence that we already have, it's right at the beginning, and we don't have to rewrite it. It's already there. So go ahead and underline that sentence if you haven't, and put a star and put an MI for main idea. That whole section does talk about smoke jumpers and the special gear they wear. So that's what it's all about. This is the final page. And when we're on paragraphs 6 and 7, we're going to think about what skills do the smoke jumpers need when they're jumping out of a plane or when they're fighting fires. What do they need to be able to do? Take a moment and reread paragraphs 6 and 7, and then in a moment, I'll give you an opportunity to unmute yourself and share, but take a minute or so to look and see if you can find it.
And once they are on the ground, they must be able to climb trees, use different saws, and work.
They have to, once they're on the ground, they must be able to climb trees, use different saws, and work well in a team. That's definitely a skill. Thank you. Anybody else see another skill that they have to be able to do in paragraph 6 or 7? Leo F, do you see a skill that they need to be able to do? Look in paragraph 6 and see if you can see something.
Smoke jumpers have to learn how to jump from a plane.
Okay, I agree with that for sure. Did anybody else see anything there that we should also annotate?
Handle a.
Khaleesi, did you see something? What else? You have to unmute yourself, my dear.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just like looking.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of connected to what Leo said. He said smoke jumpers learn how to jump from a plane. Was there something else?
And parachute and land safely.
Right. They have to handle a parachute and land safely. So what is the main idea there? The main idea would be, boys and girls, that all of these things, they have to learn how to do. They have special skills. So over here, I'm going to write MI, that stands for the main idea.
Star, and then MI.
Smoke jumpers.
Star.
Can you mute yourself, please, honey?
Good try.
Smoke jumpers need to learn special skills.
Bro, it looks like a turtle.
It does look like it.
So special skills before they can fight fires. Yeah, that's so true. You should be writing this down. That is so true. I think that they need to know how to jump out of a plane before they can be a smoke jumper, because you don't want to jump out of a plane without knowing how to do it. That would be kind of silly, right? You got to be prepared for that.